is P. I have been MIA, and I apologize for that. Excuse me. I am not feeling good. I have been pretty lucky all winter long not to get the little germs that the kids spread around, but it finally got me, and so I have been just trying to feel better. Life goes on. I've been a little stressed about the car situation. You guys, if you saw my community post, I mentioned that the car was back in the shop, and I was like panicking because my husband was like calling me with these numbers, and it was, crazy high to fix the car. My husband comes from a family where you don't keep a car as long as I do. And that, it's not safe. You need warranties. You need to keep, something that is going to be reliable and dependable. And I am from a family who drives the car until you can't drive it anymore. So, there's a difference in how we approach problems like vehicle maintenance. Long story short, my husband was trying to really kind of push for getting a newer vehicle and trading this one in. But regardless, we would have to fix my car because we would lose. We still have the mortgage. No, we still have a lawn. Oh my goodness, guys, I can't talk. We have a loan. We still owe money on my car. And so without fixing it, we would be left with a balance. The guy that we're in a small town, and we know, the people at the dealership, and, I trust them to a certain extent. I still in the back of my mind think they're just trying to sell me a car. But, long story short, we have decided to fix it, and I'm just going to keep driving it. Crunching numbers, you guys, getting a new vehicle right now, and it wouldn't be a new vehicle. I've never bought a brand new vehicle. I always buy used, like at least 3 years. That's usually my guideline right there, is a 3-year-old vehicle, with low mileage if I can find it. But with interest rates are higher than they were, and just the cost of everything is so expensive. I know in my heart of hearts, it is just better just to go ahead and fix it. My car still has some life in it. It's got 150,000 miles. And granted, I could get it out of the shop and something major go wrong with it again. And then I'll be in the same situation, probably, worse, because I'm getting ready to spend quite a bit of my emergency fund. And I am pulling wedding money that we've saved to pay for the repairs. So my plan is, I've got about $2,000, give or take, saved in wedding. I'm going to take $1,500 of that, so it'll leave $500 in the wedding bucket in our high yield savings account. And then whatever is left over that we have to pay for the car is going to come from our emergency fund. Now, we've dipped into our emergency fund multiple times since December, and so it is not where I want it to be. But we still have enough to cover the car repairs if I use wedding money. And then I will pull from the car repair, the emergency fund. And that will still leave me a small little emergency fund. It gives me anxiety, but I know if all else fails and some big catastrophe happens, we'll figure it out. So that's the plan. I don't know. We've gotten a few estimates on the car. There's multiple things wrong with it, but some things are not necessary to fix, like the motor. Okay, so the leak in the car comes from the sunroof, which the motor is out in the sunroof, so they can't fix the leak without fixing the motor. So my husband is going to try to do that himself. They said something about my rear axle. I have no idea what that is, how much it costs. I told my husband just to have things fixed that need to be fixed. I know the water pump is one. Rear axle sounds important, so fix that. And then I'm thinking something about a timing belt. I'm not real sure. But my husband's pretty handy. He can fix some things. So some things that can be fixed at home, he will fix. And some things that we can get like the local mechanic to do that is not affiliated with the dealership, we will have him fix that. He's much cheaper than a dealership. But the water pump has to be fixed at the dealership because our mechanic can't, he just didn't want to touch the water pump. So anyway, that is the update on the car. This is a long intro for a long video because I've got to do my weekly check-in, my budget with me, and all the things. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start with our weekly check-in. So let me get to that because that's most important. We had a pretty decent week. Nothing major came out or in that we weren't expecting. We did eat out one extra time, and I'll tell you about that in a minute. If my friend is watching this video, I blame her. Okay, all right. So let me go ahead and zoom you in and get started with the check-in. All right, so rollover. It came in. I'm trying not to wiggle my desk so that my camera doesn't shake. It was $1366.08. I have a sore throat, so it's hard for me to talk. Mr. P's income came in at $976.37, and other came in at a big $3.24. We got a random refund from Geico when we canceled the insurance that we have on the Gator. I guess we overpaid by $3.24, so that came out. My husband, they have approved overtime now. I probably will budget less in April just because we have been under on income for him all month long, and that throws my numbers off so much, and I hate to over budget when I need to under budget. All right, so anyway, our income came in at $2,345.61, which was pretty close to where we were, just with a little extra rollover and that $3, you know. All right, so we weren't expecting any bills, but we had 2 bills that didn't come out last week because my husband's debit card expired and he needed to update that to pay for a couple bills. So those bills did come out. So that was Live 360, and that was $855, and iRobot, and that was $3103. So the bills we were not expecting. We technically had budgeted the bills for last week's pay, but so that was $39.58, and that leaves us with $23.06.03. I can't see this morning. I am home. It is Thursday morning, and I am at home because I am not feeling good. I'm thinking about going. I'm gonna go grab a drink. I'm thinking about going to the doctor because strep has been going around, and I'm thinking that might be it. And I know that with strep you have to have an antibiotic, so I'm thinking about going to the doctor. All right, so sinking funds, we took out $180, and for savings $345. So that stayed the same at $525, and that left us with $1,781.03. All right, so then I'm going to move over here to our variable expenses. We did take out $150 for groceries, $20 for pets, $20 for household, $25 for Mr. P, $50 for me, $15 for Miss P. We did take out the $100 for eating out for my father-in-law's birthday. The bill came to be like around $97 with the tip and everything, so that was pretty good. Gas, we did take out $70. The unbudgeted is actually eating out. So we had a home ball game the other day, and my daughter, you guys, we have time to go home and eat a little bite of something before her games, but she gets so nervous before her games that she will not eat. And so me and my husband had eaten, but she had not. And then after the game, they did an amazing job. They played a team that is much harder. It was like out of our conference. It wasn't a conference game, but it was a team that has been like, I don't know, they're like a 3A team. And the girls, it ended in a tie, which blows my mind with soccer that you don't go into like extra time or whatever. But because it was not a conference game, they ended in a tie, which was unexpected. We just assumed we would lose. The girls wanted to celebrate, so I had initially said, no, we're not going out to eat, you know, blah, blah, blah. But we got talked into it, and so we did go out to eat. Now, the only one that ate really is my daughter. My husband did get a drink, and I shared some cheese dip with my daughter, but it was $22 with the tip and everything, so it wasn't bad. I'm not going to complain that much. It was worth celebrating. So our variable expenses was $472, leaving us with $1309.03, and we did not have any debts this week, so that stays $1309.03. And then we did take out the $120 for the snowball, and so total remaining was $1189.03. And that's what we will roll over to this next week, which I'm going to go ahead and budget for. But let me go ahead and do my like variable check-ins. So here is what we spent in our variable categories. Groceries, I got on the 13th at Walmart. And I spent $114. Then pets, I spent at Walmart, let me write this, $28. I had to get the hip supplement pills, so those were pretty, they was like $20. Household, I did not spend anything. Eating out, I'm going to go ahead and put what we spent eating out for my father-in-law, and that was barbecue, and I'm going to put birthday here, just so that we can keep track of it. And we spent $97. And then we ate at the Mexican restaurant, which it wasn't all of us. It was just my daughter at $21.02. All right, gas. We got gas once in the truck because I am driving the truck right now. On $3.15. We got it. My husband got it at the BP station, and he spent $60. And nothing for unbudgeted. All right, so those are our variable expenses that we check in with. And so now we're going to go back and do my budget for the 4th week of March. I was doing 5 weeks, but I've decided, I've changed my mind. I'm going to just do 4 weeks of March and have our April budget start. It will start March 27th. So we might have 5 weeks in April, but it's just the way our bills fall. I didn't want to add it to March. I want to start it in April, or start April early. All right, so let's go ahead and get started with our budget. So this is for March 20th through the 26th. We've got rollover, $11.89. We've got Mr. P. I am budgeting $1,000 because I know for a fact that it is over $1,000 because it's Thursday and his check has already hit the bank. But I'm not going to put exactly what it is because, first of all, I had already done this budget, kind of. So before I knew what that was, because I worked on this last night. Mrs. P, I'm expecting around $200 to come in, and other, $180. And that's for, like, people paying my their phone bills and things like that. So our total income should be $25.69. All right, so I'm going to go down to our bills. Netflix, $17. Power, $3.90. Spotify, $13. Hulu, $22. Verizon, $4.53, and it's up a little bit because I did some crazy, I changed the way we paid it, and I lost a discount that I didn't know I had, and then so I changed it back, so I ended up like adding like $10 to our bill because of just that little change that lasted maybe a day. For us, and just drives me insane. Apple storage, $10. All right, so our total bills and expenses is $895, leaving us with $1674. Go down to our savings and sinking funds. So for sinking funds, 180. And I did adjust our savings, how much we're pulling for savings, and I'll explain that when I get to the cash breakdown, because I know I've got to start building back our emergency fund. So that's going to be 510. 510. All right, so then this total is 690, and that leaves us with 984. All right, then we're going to go up here to our variable expenses, which does not change very often. So we've got groceries, 150, pets, 20, household, 20, Mr. P, 25, Mrs. P, 65, Miss P, 15, whoops, Miss P. Eating out, nothing. Gas, 70. And unbudgeted, hopefully nothing comes out, but life is real. All right, so this section is 365, leaving us with 619. All right, going down to debt. The only debt I have the last of the month is my student loan, which is $498. So $498. And that leaves us with 121. Go down here to our snowball. This is the games that I play in my binder. So that's 120. That leaves us with $1 left over. So $1 to roll over and just be like a little cushion in the bank. So there we go. All right, so that is going to be the final budget for March, and then next week I will start on April. All right, so that is that. I do need to do my cash breakdown. I have not sat and crunched any numbers for April to figure out how I'm going to do debt versus building back our emergency fund after it gets the big hit with our car. I'm kind of waiting to see exactly how much the car ends up being before I transfer the emergency money out of the high yield savings account. I'm just dreading it. I'm dreading it so much. All right, so let me go ahead and fill in all the numbers, and then I will be right back. Okay, so I've got all my categories filled in. Now I'm going to do the breakdown. I need to get the money from the bank, so probably when I go to the health clinic, the urgent care today, I will run through the bank and grab the cash so that maybe tonight I can do my cash stuffing. All right, so for groceries, we're going to get 7 20s and 110. Pets is going to get a 20, household 20, 25 for Mr. P. 3 20s and a 5 for me, a 10 and a 5 for my daughter, and 3 20s and a 10 for gas. All right, beauty gets a 20, medical 35, 30 for sports, and 5 for pool supplies. Subscriptions 5, school supplies 5, 15 for vet, 10 for car tags, 20 for car maintenance, and 35 for home maintenance. In April, I will probably adjust this number, but I know I need to build up my emergency fund before I start saving for more car maintenance, if it will just be good to me. All right, so debt, I'm going to go ahead. Even though I need to build back my emergency fund, I am still wanting to, keep paying that debt down. So debt is going to get 120, so that's going to be 2 20s, 5 10s, and 6 5s. Remember, I told you guys if I put any 1s on this one to fuss at me because I didn't need any 1s in there. I've got 1s, so I'm going to go ahead and do it this way. Randomizer is going to get 50. That's going to be 2 10s, 5 5s, and 5 1s. Senior year gets its 10. Vacation gets 30, so that's going to be a 20 and a 10. And yes, I am still going to save for vacation, guys. I know you guys may not agree with this, but I am still wanting to do something this summer. We've already put a deposit down on a campsite. It is not that expensive, and you know, sometimes you just need those little things to look forward to, even though all of this stuff is happening. So as Dave Ramsey says, hit me with your wet noodles. But I do want to still do vacation. And instead of using prop money, I am going to start using cash, just because I am running out of transfers in my Ally account. I didn't know that they limit you to how many you can do. And so I'm going to do cash here. So then I will do 1 transfer like once it hits a certain amount. Health savings is going to get 40, and that's going to be a 20, 2 5s, and 10 1s. Summer savings gets 80. That's 2 20s, 2 10s, 3 5s, and 5 1s. Christmas gets 50. That's going to be 2 10s, 5 5s, and 5 1s. Wedding is on hold. Yes, a wedding is going to happen, but I am going to just hold off this week on wedding until I get the numbers for my car and figure everything out. Emergency fund, I am upping that. That was right at, I think, $50, but I need to build this back up, so I'm going to put $200 toward it. So that's going to be 4 20s, 7 10s, 9 5s, and 5 1s. Mini Mondays is going to get its 30, so that's 6 5s. And YouTube Hop gets 20 1s. All right, so this totals 50 1s. I can't see my draft. I need 45 5s, which is 225. I need 28 10s, which is 280. I need 31 20s, which is 620. And in altogether, this adds to be $1,175. So that's what we'll get out of the bank. And that is all for my cash stuffing. All right, so now, last but not least, is my meal plan. So let me get that notebook. Okay, so I am really not feeling that. Being sick, it affects how I feel about food. And so this was a really hard plan to make, and but I did the best I could. We had a few meals that we did not use last week. One was the Sunday chicken pot pie, because I had forgot that we were eating out for my father-in-law's birthday. So I still have the stuff to make the chicken pot pie. And there was something else I didn't fix. And I can't remember what it was. But anyway, this is the new plan. I'm in a funk with, like, I don't feel like cooking. I don't feel like planning meals. I don't feel like, you know, any of the things. I feel like just fend for yourself every single night. And that's not good, because I feel bad then and guilty that my daughter is eating, you know, junk. Not really junk, but junk. So tonight, she does not have a game. She does have practice. So we're going to do pork chops. We have those in the fridge. Hopefully they are still okay. Pasta and green beans. And it's just going to be that easy kind of meal. The only thing I need is the pasta. And I'm going to do a pickup order. I've already got the things in my cart. I don't feel good, so I'm not going to go in the grocery store. So I'm just going to put pasta here. Friday, we do have a soccer game. It is at home. And I am going to just make a frozen pizza, because she won't eat before the games because she gets too nervous. Her stomach just doesn't feel like food. So it will be easy to come home from the game, because these games, they last a good good chunk of time and just have some pizza. So I'm going to get a frozen pizza. Actually, I'll probably get 2. And then Saturday, I'm going to make the chicken pot pie that I did not make last weekend. Whoop. I can see my desk shaking, and I apologize for that. I've got everything I need for that. Sunday, I am just craving meatloaf. We had it just a few weeks ago, but I want it again. Mashed potatoes and green peas. And I'm going to make some rolls. So for the meatloaf, I have the meat. I have potatoes. I have green peas, but I do need to get some more yeast rolls. Okay. Monday is another soccer game at home. It's going to be a tough one, and it's going to be a fend for yourself. Probably breakfast for dinner, and because egg sandwiches, omelets, that's easy to do. I do need to get some eggs. All right, Tuesday is going to be chicken fajitas. Oh. I don't know. Did I spell that right? I don't even know if I spelled that right. Why do I think there's a J in it? Fajitas. Is it a J or a H? I don't know, my brain. I've got like NyQuil brain, or Dayquil, and then some rice. I do need to get some peppers, like assorted peppers. I've got onions, I've got the chicken, I've got the wraps, and I've got cheese. And I've got the rice. Wednesday is going to be burgers and mac and cheese. And I'll need to get buns. I've got the meat. And I want to get some mac and cheese, like the shells and cheese, instead of like the Kraft macaroni and cheese, which I have in the pantry. All right, friends, that is all that I need for the meals. Hopefully that is right. I feel like I'm like foggy brain right now. Like as the medicine kicks in, like I feel like I'm, you know that commercial where your head is disconnected from your body? That's what I feel right now. All right, friends, that is all. I've got through everything in the video. It's 28 minutes right now, but that's not too bad with my big old long intro talking about my car. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. I apologize that I have been MIA, but I couldn't film. But anyway, I will see you probably later tonight with my cash stuffing. And then hopefully everything will be right on schedule after that. So you guys take care, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.